Hey y'all, we're Parmalee.
Hi, I'm Rick Beato.
And thank y'all for checking out
Focus on the 615.
Today is a day of firsts. We're celebrating 5 songwriters reaching their goal of writing a #1 country song, and multiple music publishers celebrating their company's first #1. Let's get the writers on stage first off. Josh McSwain, Barry Knox, Scott Thomas, Matt Thomas, and Rick Beato.
It means everything to us. This is a goal, a dream we've always had. Since we started writing music, you always want to hope you could write a #1 song, and it's not an easy task to do. And we're just thankful and blessed that we have a great team behind us, and that we had the opportunity. And I don't know, we're, like I said, we're still sinking in, right?
Yeah,
It
on cloud nine.
Doesn't feel real. I ain't gonna lie. We did a showcase, and I asked the A&R rep at one of the labels, I said, what would you have us do if you signed us? And he said, well, I'd have you go work with Rick Beato. And I was like, who's Rick Beato? I don't know him. He's like, well, he's a producer in Atlanta. So I went and I looked up Rick's name, and I called him, and we flew down and met him. And a month later, we're in the studio doing 3 songs, and we had the idea for Carolina on a demo, and we took it to him, and he loved it. And that's how we finished it in the studio with him. And I think it was a home run. It was who knew? Here we are.
Yeah. I'm originally from upstate New York, Rochester, New York. I moved to Atlanta about 20 years ago, and I've kind of been working in and out of Nashville for years as a producer and a songwriter. I would say I've been full-time producing since 1999, but I've had a publishing deal in songwriting since the early 90s. So that's kind of my background as a writer and a producer. It's been doing it for years and years. So this is a kind of my life's passion. Let's see. I met Parmalee. It was we wrote the song probably 3-4 years ago, and Matt, the singer, called me up out of the blue, and he said his name's Matt. He's from the band Parmalee, which I had heard of. They'd been playing through the South, and I'd seen their name in the Atlanta area playing gigs, and I didn't know their music at all. And he said that he wanted to fly down and meet me, so a couple of the guys came down to meet with me, and we decided to work together. And I asked him, I said, hey, is there any song ideas that you have that you're kind of working on? He says, well, I got this idea for this song, and he sings the first line of the chorus. And I was like, that's amazing. Let's work on that. So that was kind of the inspiration for the song, and then he told me the story, what his idea for the story was, and that's how we wrote it. This is my first #1 hit. It's actually my first country song I've ever written. So it feels great. Mostly rock bands, but I work with bands like Need to Breathe. I've done their last 3 records that I've produced. There's a band called Shinedown that I've worked with on a couple records as a producer and as a songwriter. All different genres of rock, though. And everything has kind of skirted the country genre. And country's become much more inclusive as far as on the rock side. Songs that wouldn't have been country songs even 5 years ago are now country songs. So it's made this possible, really. Because I don't know if Carolina 5 years ago necessarily would have been a straight-up country song, but it falls perfectly into the genre now.
All right, Benny Brown is going to speak. Benny.
Well, I've got to say, everybody sort of warned me about maybe signing a band, because you take a band, you're so much more trouble than this single act. But I've got to say, these guys, from day one, have been almost like dealing with one person. Every time we've asked anything of them, they've held up their hand, and yeah, man, it's been such a pleasure to work with 4 guys that, number one, they are like family, and our whole label group is like family. But, you know, it's been very special seeing the passion and how much love they have for what they're doing, that I couldn't be happier to have signed this band. So, thanks guys.